Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Deraps, and today I'm going to show you how I get a lot of distortion out of my JCM 800 2204. Same goes with the 2203. A lot of people just plug into a JCM 800 for the first time, and where's the gain? Where's the distortion? Why is there no sustain? It sounds like AC/DC, and there's nothing wrong with that, but a lot of people expect this kind of sound. So how do you get all the gain out of a JCM 800? You just have to use the power tubes. This is how you get a really good, fat, warm, rich, and distorted sound out of a JCM 800. You have to really turn the master all the way up. So this is a Les Paul Standard 50s with the stock pickups, and I'm plugged straight into the amp. This is a completely stock, original JCM 800 2204 from 1987. I'm using the aux box cab simulator, not the actual cab. I'm going through the aux box with a cab simulator, and in the software I'm using a 412 with greenbacks, SM57s, a little bit of reverb in post, and that's it. Okay, so let me go and show you how the amp sounds with the master from 0 to 10. You'll see there's a big difference when I start to turn the master up. Right now the master is on 10. And I'm going to put it on 1. Preamp is on 7, treble on 5, middle on 10, bass on 0, presence on 10. So this is the same settings I was using with the master on 10. Now the master is on 1. Terrible sound. Terrible sound. It sounds harsh, it's thin, it's really kind of weak sounding. So the EQ sounds completely different, and as soon as you turn up the master just a little bit, if I put it on 2, it's not great, but it's still a lot better. It sounds more open, it's punchier, it's just bigger, warmer. But there's not a lot of sustain, there's not a lot of distortion. So it's kind of weak sounding still, bigger but not great. If I put it on 4, you can hear a little bit more harmonic distortion in the top end happening. Sounds punchier, sounds bigger. Not the best sound, but it's getting there. It's starting to sound better, more organic, punchier. If I put it on 6, now the distortion really is starting to come out. A lot more sustain. A lot better now. So from 6 to 10 is pretty much all distortion now. So if I put it on like 8. If I put it on 10. So same EQ as before, volume on 10, preamp is on 7, and there's just so much distortion and sustain. It's rich, it's organic. So this is how it sounds with the master on 10. It sounds amazing. It's really punchy, aggressive, distorted, and sustaining, and just really, it's the sound of the 80s. This is the sound right there. Super dynamic with the volume knob here. You can just really kind of clean up. So as you heard it, when the volume was on 1, the EQ completely changes. If I put it on 1 right now, just to show you the EQ with the same settings as before, this is how it sounds like. Super harsh and bright. If I put it on 10, completely different sound. So if I put it on 1 and I want to play at really low bedroom volume, and I change the EQ completely, so I'm going to put the preamp on 10, treble on around 4, middle on around 4 also, presence on around 4, bass still on 0. Let's see how it sounds like. Much better, much bigger. Still not as good as with the master on 10. It just doesn't have the same punch. If I put the master on 10 now with the same EQ, kind of sounds the same as before. When you turn the master all the way up, it just sounds like the EQ is almost bypassed. There's a little difference, but it doesn't make a big difference when you start turning the knobs. So I'm going to put it as it was before, and I'm going to show you how it sounds like. So that's with the middle on 0. There's barely a difference. 0, 10. And it's crazy how little of a difference it makes. If I put the treble on 10, you're gonna see it just kind of saturate and sounds like shit. It's really bad. Just oversaturates, so that's why I always leave it a little bit kind of backed off. If you put the presence on 0, the high end is kind of rolled off and kind of rounded, but again, not a big difference. If I put it back on 10, it's not a huge difference. It does make a difference, but it's not a very big difference. It just sounds really kind of flat when you put the master on 10. It starts to have the Marshall sound, and then however you tweak it, you kind of have the same sound. So as you can see, there's more than enough gain. All you need to do is crank that master volume and get those power tubes cooking. And that really goes for any tube amp. I've tried EVH amps, I've tried the Marshall JVM, which is a more modern, high gain kind of amp. And they really sound much better when you start cranking the master volume. It just sounds warmer, bigger, punchier. That's just how tube amps work. And if you think it's too loud, you can always get an attenuator or a load box. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and check out my website, derapsofficial.com. We have a brand new album coming out on May 23, 2025. And I'll see you next time.